and I'm joined by Manisha Thakor, personal finance expert and author of Get Financially Naked. In this segment, Manisha joins us to answer some questions viewers have sent in to us. All right, Manisha, here we go. The first question comes from Debbie. She writes, why is it so hard to find no-fee credit cards these days? Yes, where have they gone, Manisha?
Oh, I think they are long gone, Tanya, and I'll tell you why. Boston Consulting Group just came out with a study that said credit card companies are likely to lose $25 billion in revenues as a result of what Jerry was talking about earlier in the show, the Credit Card Act of 2009. And while that Credit Card Act has benefited so many of us consumers by putting an end to some unfair practices, credit card companies are businesses and they need to make profits. And so if they can't charge us late fees and penalty rates, they're going to need to charge us annual fees to use the card. So you can still find some. If you go to creditcards.com, you can search by various parameters, and no annual fee is one of them. But they are increasingly hard to find.
I guess, rarer and rarer. All right, now, thanks for that answer. Here's a question from Victor, who writes in saying, I hear good things about credit unions. Where can I find one that I can join? It's true, we hear how great credit unions are all the time on this show, but they're not everywhere.
No, and it's up until recently, it's been difficult oftentimes to find a credit union, and a lot of people mistakenly think that you have to work within a certain industry or fit certain parameters. And so I'm happy to say there is a wonderful website, CU Lookup, the letters C and U for credit union lookup.com. And if you go there, you can type in your zip code and you can find credit unions in your area that meet all the guidelines for the overarching credit union, a national standard, so that you can make sure that you're getting the same level of protection on the credit union side with your cash and so forth as you would in a banking side in an FDIC context.
Are there credit unions that exist only online, that someone could join online?
You know, to the best of my knowledge, there is not yet a pure online banking credit union, but I'm going to check into that.
Maybe it's worth starting one. All right. Thanks so much for that answer, Manisha. Here's a question from Lynn. How can I get my young adult children to better understand how important it is to start saving for retirement? This goes back to what we were talking earlier. It's so hard to get young people to realize they will someday be older.
Right, it's true. Well, first, Lynn, the fact that you're even asking that question is huge, because a number of young people don't save because nobody tells them to save. So you're a wonderful parent for putting that out there. And I'm going to give you a statistic, and if you can relate this to your children, I think it'll knock their socks off. So let's take Jane and Joe. They both save $5,000 a year for their retirement. They both earn 7% on their investments. But fast forward to age 65, and Jane's sitting on $1 million nest egg. Joe's only got $200,000. What counts for the difference? Jane started at age 25. She had 40 years of cash contributions and time to compound. Joe, like most people, waited until his mid-40s, started saving at age 45. That 20-year head start gave Jane 5 times more money. Tell your kids about that. They may get interested.
That really drives it home. All right, Manisha, thank you so much for answering our viewer questions.